One of the most important things you got to do as a golfer is figure out your short game distances, right? And I decided to do that. So let me show you what I did. All right, welcome back to the Backyard Muni. So under the recommendation from my swing coach, I decided to work on my half and quarter swing pitch and wedge down the lob wedge. So I set a timer and give myself about 10 minutes per club. Quarter swing, lob wedge. And then we're all set up. The rules are pretty simple. Take 10 minutes with each club doing quarter swings. All right. And my goal here is to try to be as consistent as possible. Back off of the ball, set my feet each time before I take these quarter swings. And before this, I had already warmed up and was feeling pretty loose. Now, this is mostly just a data collecting operation here. I'm just trying to collect as much data from these swings as I can possibly get and compile them all into a spreadsheet so that I can generate a bag tag, more or less, for my distances. Because I know my distances, but not as well as I probably should. Now, I did have some issues from time to time with this camera setup. I'm doing the GoPro via Wi-Fi and then having that feed into OBS, and then that is what's that target line camera there. Well, the off center line, and then the one looking straight down, that's coming straight from the Rapsodo. As you see, I'm just swinging them, and it's very it's a tedious task. All right, that 10 minutes is up. Switching to sandwich. Now I've made the transition over to sandwich. So now I'm gonna jump into sandwich, doing the exact same thing. Quarter swing, just trying to hit chips. And I'm trying to remain neutral, stay balanced, and set my feet each time. So I like to walk away, check on the data, check on the camera, make sure everything's good, because as you see there, it froze. So I had to turn around and bring it all back. And now I'm right back at it, just swinging them. Once at some point I got things pretty stable and was able to just keep hitting them. And when we get to the end of the video, I'll show you guys the spreadsheet that I use and where I get the numbers from, how I plug it all in. It's pretty much copy paste. All you need is Excel and access to your iCloud account for the Rapsodo. Allows you to download the numbers, copy, paste them into the spreadsheet, and it's going to generate some distances for you. It's going to do all the math for you. You can make it do all kinds of math because there's a lot of data collected from each one of these shots. And you'll see when I open the spreadsheet that it is a robust amount of data. A lot. So I had to switch shirts because boy, it was getting a little hot in here. Get some air in here via the window. But what really sparked me to take on this endeavor of doing this is that I recently upgraded my wedges. I was playing Kirkland's before. I got I think they were $179 way back in the day when they first dropped at Costco. And after playing with those for a lot of years, I decided it was time to upgrade. Plus my short game was struggling. Those Kirkland's were pretty beat up. And I upgraded to some Titleist Volkies. And I gotta say, the difference is very stark. Well, right off the rip, those Volkies they feel 1,000 times lighter in my hands than those Kirklands did. So that difference in weight, man, I needed to practice a lot with them, and I have been practicing a lot, but I wasn't really keeping track of my distances. So when I started playing these Volkies out on the course, I started off hitting real short, not really having a lot of control with the distance, even though I had practiced with them for days and days and days before I took them out. And then after a couple of weeks, I started then hitting them way over the green. So I went and talked to my swing coach, and he basically said that, look, you gotta get all your numbers with your quarter and halves. You gotta map those out, and I was hesitant. And as you can see here, I'm hitting these balls a little fat. Okay? And that's an issue. And I just mentioned it myself. I'm hitting way behind the ball. So I come back, hit some more, and come back, and at some point I'm going to check it again because I didn't like the way I was hitting them. But anyway, these Volkies, extremely light. So this is also a good opportunity to practice with them. Practice those. Now look at this one. Way less fat, a lot more focused. And I just try to keep that up and just keep compiling all the data that I can get on these clubs. And for a bit it was working out. Now the rest of this is probably going to be a few words from me and probably some background music. So at this point, if you want to just sit here and watch me hit shots, you can. This is more of a vlog for me. But if you want to skip to the end when I talk about the stuff that I use to put all my information together, then you can skip there. I think that's a little further down the video. I'll try to drop a timestamp or whatever those YouTube things are in here. Right. Quarter swings are done. Moving on to the halves. All right, now we're gonna go halves. So I just wanted to pop in and say that when you're going from quarter swings to half swings, you need to start a new session, because the way the Rapsodo puts this data together when you download it from the rCloud website, it splits it up by club. So if you do all of your halves and quarters in one session for one club, it will put them all together and average all of them. You want to do different sessions, that way you can differentiate which swings are which swings, and you'll see that in the video at the end. And I wanted to jump in here one more time before we get to the end here and just say that this is not a one-time thing. This is something I'm going to do probably once a month until I start seeing the numbers be consistent. So, all right, on to the end. Now, as promised, we're going to talk about the rCloud website. Now, if you have access, you should have access to this website. And once you get in there, you can see all of my sessions there. Those top two there are the top one is the half swing, and the one right below it is the quarter. And as you can see, even though there were I7s showing up in the data as I was going through my stuff, all the clubs are still there. They were mislabeled in the app, but when you get over to the website, everything looks pretty decent for the most part. And then at the top there's that red button that says export. You export it, and that allows you to load it into Excel. And this is what the sheet looks like. Now, I made some adjustments to it so that I could link. These are the quarters, and I think the ones next to them are the halves. And then that way I can get the averages labeled there right underneath the yellow. And then that does the math and ports it over to the bag tag for the club distances. It does it all for you. All I have to do is print it out, use some scissors to cut out the tag, hole punch it, attach it to my bag. Now my numbers here look a little wonky because I'm still waiting on a bunch more data I need to put in there, but that's pretty much the gist of it. So I appreciate you guys coming along this journey with me. And if you are brand new to golf and you're a high handicapper, it would be helpful for you to take those wedges. And if you have a lob wedge, if you're a high handicap golfer, don't even try the lob wedge unless you're swinging like quarter swings. Like, I'll never swing my lob wedge more than probably a half swing. Once you get to sand, it's a little bit easier, but when you get the gap wedge, it gets even easier. And pitching wedge is where I felt the most comfortable. As you can see in the video, I was hitting that a lot more consistent. But if you are a high handicap golfer, you need to figure out those distances with those wedges, with those quarter and half swings, because that's going to help you out a lot around the green. Now, I'm going to be going and mapping the rest of my bag over the coming days before I go out and play. I've decided I'm taking like a couple of weeks off of golf. So I'm going to go out to the Muni, get the distances for the rest of my bag, and then once I have all that, I'll go out there and I'll see how it goes. So I'll keep y'all posted.